A very warm welcome to all the graded students once again. So, children, we are looking at the first lesson, that is transport of materials in plants. We have seen in the first part of our lesson that how things like water and nutrients are exactly absorbed by the root hairs, then which are the layers after root hairs, and how exactly the water and the food is spread around all the parts of the plant with the help of the complex tissues, and they are the xylem and the phloem. Then we saw which are the processes that are involved in this, that is diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. Furthermore, we are going to see what are the nutrients that the plants need. Okay, they are being classified into macro and micro, and also an important process, that is transpiration. That is what we are going to see in today's session. So, what is the importance of the nutrients? See, it is required for all the vital metabolic processes like digestion, respiration. Okay, then it is required for proper growth and development of plant. Just like we human beings, you children require all the proper amounts of the vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins. Same goes for the plants. Then what are the types of nutrients? There are two types, like I said, micro and macronutrients. What are macronutrients? We'll see minerals that are required in large quantities for the healthy growth and development of the plants are called as macronutrients. Examples are NPK. These are the short forms of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium salts. Salt is not the salt that we have in our everyday food. Here, salts means the residues of this kind of nutrients, small particles that are required by the plants. So, why is nitrogen required? It is required for protein formation. Phosphorus required for production of energy. Potassium for controlling the opening and closing of stomata. It also maintains the electrolyte balance, that is the water balance in the plant, and it regulates transpiration process. Very important. Potassium is handling three functions altogether. And last but not the least, magnesium required for chlorophyll formation. Another very important aspect. Without chlorophyll, no photosynthesis. So you'll have to learn, children, the names of these NPK salts. Their functions mainly. Okay, so that is about the macronutrients. Let us see what are micronutrients. The nutrients that are required in extremely small amounts, like we require vitamins and minerals. So here they are also called as trace elements, because trace means small in quantity. Okay. Examples are iron, zinc, and manganese. In exam, most of the students get confused between magnesium and manganese. Okay, so here it is about manganese. The function of iron is metabolism and synthesis of protein. Zinc, activation of enzymes. Manganese, component of enzymes. Okay. So here's a table. Yeah, also the last part is lack of nutrients is going to lead to deficiency diseases, just like we face certain deficiency diseases. Here is the case with the plants. What happens when nitrogen is not there? It will have a retarded growth. It will not grow to up to its full limit. Phosphorus, poor root growth. That must be, the spelling is wrong, poor root growth. Okay, root growth will not be proper. Potassium is deficient. It will lead to stunted. Again, a small size plant will grow. It will not grow up to its full potential. Magnesium, a chlorosis, in which yellowing of the leaves happen. Same goes with micronutrient iron. It will also lead to chlorosis, in which yellowing of the leaves happen. Manganese, a pale spotted leaves. You can see many times leaves are yellow in color. Why? Because there is deficiency of manganese. Zinc will lead to the malformed leaves, yani not the normal size and shape leaves. There will be some deformity in it. Next, last but not the least topic is transpiration. We all know what is transpiration. It is a process of loss of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Okay, it is much similar to evaporation. When we see that the ocean water, the lake water, the sea water gets evaporated to form the water cycle, to form the clouds. Transpiration here can happen in three ways in the plants. Okay, in the plants, through stomata. We all know what stomata is. Cuticles are small openings, and lenticels. We are going to see what are they. See, stomata. These are the openings on epidermis of leaves. They are more on underside of the dicot leaves, and 90% of water is transpired through the leaves. So that is why this is very important process. Okay, stomatal openings. Cuticles, it's a waxy coating on leaf and stem for them to retain the water. Here in this case only 5 to 10% of transpiration is happening because they are a bit smaller, okay, in structure, so less amount of transpiration happens. Lenticels, these are tiny pores, again very tiny pores which are present at the barks of the trees or in older stems. Only 0.1 to 1% transpiration is happening here, okay. But all of these three parts are very important for the process of transpiration to happen. Mainly it is stomatal opening because stomata opens up very widely than the other cuticles or the lenticels. Okay, there is another fact file we are going to see. Turgid pressure. There is a term called as turgid pressure. The pressure exerted by the cell content on the cell wall due to osmosis is called turgid pressure or the turgid pressure. Okay, there is a phenomenon of osmosis happening during the absorption of water. It can lead to something called as turgid pressure. Because of this pressure, the plant is able to remain turgid, that means strong, and it helps the plant to stand erect or straight in position. But in hot and dry climate, when you know the water supply is not good enough, that time the plant will lose its turgidity and it will be forming it will just droop, it will wilt, it will get dried, start getting dried, and it will droop off, it will bend. What is the importance of transpiration? Quite a lot. First is cooling effect. If we sit in a hot summer day under a tree, we feel cool, right? No? Why? Because it continuously keeps on transpiring, giving out water, and the plant is able to maintain its own temperature because of that. Okay. Next is it leads to ascent of sap. Ascent of sap will lead to the suction of more water from the roots. Okay. The suction force created due to transpiration is called as transpirational pull. It's an important definition, children. You'll have to learn this. This pull ensures more water absorbed by the roots, just as I told you now. Distribution of minerals, another importance is once the minerals are absorbed, they are equally distributed by the transpirational pull because this pull is happening in all the parts of the plant, just not one part. So minerals gets distributed equally. Water cycle. Now should I really explain you why is water cycle important? Because we receive rains, right? For the formation of the clouds, we need water to go up there, which will eventually form the clouds, and the clouds will eventually give us a rain. Understood the importance of transpiration? Okay. Now you are supposed to conduct this activity of transpiration. Now it is a gloomy climate outside, but in the near future you will do this activity that is given in the textbook, okay, and share what your observation is. In fact, you must have observed this process in your earlier classes. If that is also okay with me, you can just note down what did you observe and what do you conclude from that, okay, because this is the activity, or you can say experiment for this lesson, to observe the transpiration in plants. I'll ask you to write it sometime later in the session, okay. So here it is given. Write the activity given on the page number 24 in your notebook. Write aim, apparatus, procedure, observation and conclusion. Okay, you can do it right now since I mentioned it here. You can start writing the activity, and everything is given in your textbook. You have to simply write it in your notebook because we do not have the experiment sheets to give you. You will have to write it in your notebook. Just copy down everything, even the procedure, and learn observation and conclusion because that is what is asked in the examination. Okay, there is a link in the PPT. Don't worry, I'll be sharing this for your reference for better understanding. Okay. Now there are factors affecting the rate of transpiration. We saw the importance of transpiration. Let us see what is going to increase or decrease the rate of transpiration. Temperature, what do you think? More the temperature, obviously more will be the evaporation of water, so more the transpiration. Humidity means already there is water vapor in the air, so it will lower up the rate of transpiration, it will reduce. So this is contrast. Higher humidity, low transpiration. Wind, obviously if more wind is there, more transpiration. Light, because of the heat that is emerging from the light, stomata will be remaining opened, and that is how it will allow more transpiration. Now, soil water, that means the water which is present in the soil. Less amount of water in the soil, less transpiration, because less amount of water will be absorbed by the plants. If more amount of water is absorbed, more transpiration. It all depends on amount of water available. Okay, that was there for today. I hope it was all easy for you to understand. So please kindly go through this notes that the lesson is done. You will have to start solving the objectives and short answers in the textbook itself. Answer to questions A, B, C, D and E are given in the notes, which I am putting it in the group. Write only the long answer questions in the notebook, that too in your own words. Do not copy same to same from the notes that I am giving. You're supposed to write the answers in the point wise and not in paragraph wise. You can use mind map, flow chart in your own words, but that should cover the important points. That should cover the answer that is asked. Attempt the diagram based questions and write answers in the textbook itself, because I am already giving you the answers for them. So do not make another notebook or redraw and anything. Just write the answers in the textbook. And yeah, I'm sending the notes or the PDF of the notes again in the group. So that was all about for today, children. I hope you're all staying at home, taking care of yourself. I hope to see you all again very soon. Till then, please take care of yourself. Have a nice day, all of you. Bye bye.